Hello again. I am glad you decided to come back. I hope you're staying safe. And welcome back to this video. So I have to admit that as you can see from the thumbnail or from the title, I promised something else. But my god, it was hard to find motivation to continue that video. So yeah, I decided, hey, I really want to draw something Totoro related. It's just one of those character designs that are visually so cute and appealing, and the cartoon is just so touching to me that I could not draw something, you know? And since I've been drawing for a while, it was weird for me to see that I've never actually drawn Totoro, ever. So here I am drawing an iconic scene from the cartoon. So basically, I don't know how long this video is gonna be because I am actually, while I'm doing the voiceover, I just finished the line art for this drawing. So I don't know how long it's gonna be. But before making this, I was thinking, what should I even talk about? What's even interesting about me? And there's not really many things that I find interesting to happen in my life, at least not yet. If they did, I mostly forgot everything, to be honest. My memory's been acting up lately, so the only thing that stands out is the fact that I had many roommates in my life. I used to share my room with my younger sister, but then as I grew up, I got my own room. So if we want to count my sister, she's the number one roommate, I guess. And after that, I went to high school, and because my country is really small, I had to go to a dormitory. I saw this girl, and I don't know why she stood out of everyone for me, but I was like, she looks like a nice person. She looks like a theater kid because I went to a theater high school. I was like, I need to be with her in the room. And plenty thing happened. Me and her actually ended up in the same room. So we were roommates, and I told her, hey, I actually was hoping to be in the room with you, as weird as that sounded. But we actually were also classmates first, so it was really fun. On that open house day, we were shown the student rooms. And the student dormitory was divided in 3 buildings, building A, B, and C, and we were shown on that day the C building, the pretty one. And I was so excited because everything was in blue, the walls were pretty, the furniture looked pretty, it was just perfect. Little did I know, me and my classmate got in a room from A building, which was very old. The floors were squeaking. Oh my god, the worst part about it is that we had a huge window. I do know that it was so freaking hot because we were on the sunny side and it was just crazy hot, so we had to open the window. And my roommate would usually put her her food there, and the freaking crows would take stuff and just drop them down. And I know that one time we were just walking, we saw like a bunch of food on the floor, and we were like, what's that? And we figure out it's actually our food because the crows took it. They took the whole plastic bag and picked it up and threw it away. And it was really interesting to me. And me and that roommate also had another roommate for a little while. She was a special one. We didn't really connect to her as much. She was slightly older. I think 2 or 3 years older, I'm not really sure. we were just first year of high school, not knowing anything. She was slightly older, and she was just crazy. And when I say crazy, I mean crazy. My roommate was goofing around on the hallway with other friends, and one of them was also another classmate of ours, which is actually still one of my closest friends, and you can follow her. She and her goofed around a lot, and I was just very introverted, so I didn't really go out. But they goofed around with this girl, the crazy girl. And I don't know what really happened, but one time they just opened the door really fast. My roommate rushed in, and the other roommate came in with a broom attacking her, and we were just like, oh, what? She was about to slap her and everything, so we were like, okay, we have a crazy girl. So yeah, that girl left after a little bit, and our classmate, that my friend, oh my god, we need to give them names. So the first one, let's call her A, and the B one that I talk to now, that we're still friends. I don't know if she wants to reveal her name online or not, so I'm just gonna call her girl B. And we were like, well, we have an empty room, you could sneak in and sleep at our place. And when actually before that, we also had another girl that was there for a week or so. I barely even remember. I know that she was just there, and the girl B kept sneaking in at night, which was not allowed, but they were like, come on, nobody's gonna figure it out. And we actually got busted a few times, but the people there, not the teachers, but supervisors or whatever, they were like, yeah, it's fine. And then one day, girl B just decided to straight up say, hey, can I move in with them, to the supervisor? And supervisor was like, well, I like you, so yeah, sure. And it was really fun because us three were in the same class, we were in the same room, we ate together at lunch. It was just really fun. I again was very introverted, I still am, so I wasn't as close to them as they were to each other, but we still got along most of the time. And then the girl A wanted to move in with her, well, not her, with our another classmate C, because I believe she wasn't in the dormitory from the start. She just started, so she wanted to be with her, and they were promised a room in building C, which was very tempting. So they moved together there, and for a little bit it was just me and roommate B, and it was fun time. But then we were almost at the end of third year. We were slightly getting worried we were gonna to have another girl in the room. Our floor was kind of crazy at night, especially because there was so many guys there, and there was so many couples not even couples, just people fooling around, so you would hear them making out in front of our door. And the Wi-Fi router was right outside our door, so everybody would be lying and sitting down on the floor. It just got a little too much, especially the making out part. When I say the walls were thin, they were really thin. So me and my roommate B were like, what if we talk to the supervisor and say that, hey, we're gonna be the seniors in this high school, this is our last year, we need to focus on our finals, blah blah blah. We just didn't want to meet new people at that point. We're just tired of everybody. So we got a room in building C. It was basically one of the best decisions we've made. The room was smaller, yes, but it was just way more comfortable, and I don't know. I like that building more. It looked new and people were nicer. There was no making out for sure. Or if there was quiet. Like, whatever. Let's not get too much into it. And then when I moved to America, I moved with my best friend at the time, and we were living in a studio, which now that I think about it, it's kind of crazy, because if you don't know what a studio is, it's basically a 2-room apartment. One of the rooms is a small bathroom, and the other room is kitchen, living room, and bedroom all together. Our apartment was super tiny. It was actually the size of the room that I share with 4 people right now. The rent was more expensive, the Wi-Fi was expensive because it wasn't included in the price, and we got bed bugs twice, so we had to do the whole calling people to like get rid of them and stuff. It was just whole complications, and the hot and cold water were switched for some reason, and the air conditioning just didn't work at all. The oven was crazy. The fire alarm kept going on and off like every day. So it was pretty hectic, and me and my roommate were getting tired of each other at that point too. She went to her boyfriend, and I was like, where the heck do I go? Like, I didn't know what do I do, because you need to leave the house so they can do the extermination. And my other friend was like, hey, do you want to come at our place? Like, we have a lot of space, you can sleep on the couch. So I came there. It was 4 girls living there, I think. And they didn't mind me living there, and I was staying there for a month because there were so many complications. So I guess if we count them as roommates, because they technically lived there for a month. And one of them was super crazy because, I don't know, she had some anger issues too. And she didn't like me being there, especially because my stuff were in the closet. I don't think they were sharing the closet, but it was just a lot of stuff, and she was kind of mad at me. So, because she was mad at me, she actually planted her underwear on my stuff, in my bags and stuff. And I know it wasn't mine because like I didn't recognize the brand or anything, and the worst part of it was a dirty underwear. It was legit dirty underwear. So I was like, oh wow, I gotta go now. When I went back, I had to live at that bed bug place for a little bit longer because my lease didn't end yet. And then I finally got an offer from my other friend that I haven't mentioned yet. She was like, hey, I need somebody to take over my lease. Well, actually not my lease, but somebody moved out and I need somebody to move in because otherwise I cannot afford paying for 2 people. I moved in there and it was really fun. It was actually one of my favorite places to live. Just because me and that girl, we're still friends. We get along. And there was another girl that had a cat, and that cat was crazy, driving everybody insane, but also it was super cute. So it was just a really nice place. The only thing that bothered me, I kind of had to move out because the apartment was so old it was falling apart. We had cockroaches, we had bugs, the kitchen was falling apart, the doorknob had issues too, and it was just a little crazy area. It wasn't as safe area as the other apartments. So one time at night, I remember my roommate at the time, she slept like nothing happened. And I told her like a week later because I completely forgot about it, and she was like, what the hell? I was on my computer just watching some videos, and then I hear people calling police next to our apartment, and they were freaking out saying that there's a drunk guy, probably a homeless guy in our apartment, just lying there unconscious. We don't know if he's alive or not. The windows are crushed and everything. We don't know what to do. And it turns out the police comes after 5 minutes and they figure it out the case. It was basically one of the people's friends that got really drunk and thought it was his apartment, and since he couldn't unlock the door, he just broke the window and fell asleep there. And yeah, that was it. The roommate had to apologize, saying, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry guys, we're young, people get drunk, stuff happened." I was just like, okay. That's the thing, I guess. So I had to move out of that apartment too. My roommate also moved out with her boyfriend or husband now. I had to look for another apartment, and then I finally found a place where I live here, but not the exact unit. I lived in the unit next door, and there, let me tell you, this one where I live now is the nicest area, the nicest apartment. It's also very affordable. The community is super nice. The problem is there's 8 people in the apartment. So you have one fridge, one kitchen, 2 rooms, and then 8 people, which is crazy. And it's bunk beds, which didn't bother me since I live in a dormitory and everybody's super nice. But it gets a little crowded. And in the other apartment that I lived, it had no windows. It was just all white. The rooms were really tiny. I just didn't know what to do with myself, so I barely came home. I was mostly in school, just for that reason. Because it felt like very stuffy and very isolating at home. And that apartment changed people almost every week. I started with 6 people, and then 2 of them moved away. And then we got 8 people, and those 8 people switched 2 or 3 times. And then when the virus pandemic happened, a lot of the people just went home. I was thinking about going home too, but some of them went traveling, which was really dangerous. So a lot of people got relocated on different units because it wasn't safe. So I was relocated, and now I'm in this one bigger room, windows, thanks God. I have a lot of space, a very tiny kitchen though, and the bathroom time is very limited, but and yeah, here the roommate's occupation changed 4 times, but most of the time it's still 8 people right now. So yeah, that's my story for now. And since my classes in my newest school that I transferred to are actually in person, not all of them, but some, and I am a part of clubs that acquire in person participation, I am considering what to do right now. If I have to go closer and live somewhere closer, or to just stay. So for now, this is it. I will have to count how many people that actually was. If I'm not lazy, I'll put a counter and you'll see how many people I've mentioned so far. I hope you like this little story, and I hope you like the drawing, and I'll see you next time.